Hi, I'm Ellen08, and I'm going to do Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 4. Alright, in the beginning, Ineka goes to pick up her husband Ike from the airport because he's just getting back from his job as a traveling doctor. And then there was talks about, when they're going to finally get together or get on the same schedule so they can try for a baby. Karen calls Ineka and tells her about the pickleball event that she and Ray are hosting, which is for all the ladies and their significant others, and she's inviting Ineka to come by. Ineka says she'll be there, and then after she gets off the phone with Karen, she said it was very thoughtful of Karen to think of inviting her. And then she tells Ike, you do realize that with all the ladies there, you know that Wendy's going to be there, right? And from there, let's see. And of course it segues into the discussion of Wendy, and that Wendy's, Ineka's husband's cousin, Levy, she got a call from Wendy's mother, Susan, and her sister, Ivy, to tell her to stop contacting Wendy and to leave her alone. And when this happened, it was 2 weeks, supposedly, before Ashley's housewarming party. So it seems like the plot thickens of, whether or not Wendy and Ineka knew each other prior to the housewarming party. And per that timeline, it's implied that maybe they do. Somebody knows somebody. I don't know. It's all a mess, and it'll just become an even bigger mess later on in this episode. And there is footage shown of Levy calling Ineka to tell her that Susan and Ivy contacted her to tell Ineka to stop harassing Wendy and to keep her from joining the friend group, allegedly. Apparently, Ineka's being accused of being some sort of clout chaser. Who knows what the hell is going on with that? Another thing they bring up is Ike's college classmate, not roommate, Eddie. He and Eddie went to the same college together. And apparently they were part of the same African student organization, and they did lots of things together. So apparently they know each other. They knew of each other, but not quite knowing each other. So, and apparently, let's see. Ike seems to have a problem with the fact that Eddie unfollowed him on Facebook. Who cares? And I will put this up there with Garcelle unfollowing Erica on Instagram in season 12. Who gives a shit? It's Facebook. It's social media. Who would notice anyway? And I'll tell you right now, as someone who's done her share of unfriending some people on Facebook, it doesn't bother me one bit if someone were to unfriend me on Facebook, because it's not like I'll notice anyway unless I happen to either, how they do that on this day where you get a flashback of the posts you've done and who commented. Now, if I were to click on the comments, I would see the how you have number of comments, and then you click on it, some of the comments are missing. That's how I know either I clipped them off my friend list or they clipped me off their friend list. I don't care. It doesn't matter. And yeah, because I'm the type of person, if you're on my friend list and I haven't spoken to you in a while, or if I have to wonder why is this person on my friend list, then the person's gone. Okay, next. Oh, and about the pickleball event that Karen is hosting. Karen says that this event, she's hoping that it'll be a perfect opportunity for everybody to come together as a form of healing. Yeah, that'll happen. Giselle and Robin are dining together. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because, it's just, once again, it's about Robin and Juan, and Robin's not doing anything about how Juan is treating her and going behind her back. But Giselle mentions Juan yelling at her, and Robin has an excuse for it, saying, that it's his coaching affects the way that he communicates with other people. Sure it is. And then Robin tells Giselle about her conversation with Nneka regarding Wendy. And I think that, Robin and Giselle already don't like Wendy anyway, so I'm sure they were willing to believe that what Nneka was saying about Wendy's family being Osu or being dabbling in some form of witchcraft, I'm sure they were likely to believe that it's true, because it will just fit into their whatever negative narrative that they have of Wendy beforehand. So anyways, Candace and her mother talking about Chris, not really interested with that. And then there's the pickleball event. Alright, and already as the people are coming in, there's already very thick tension. Candace and Giselle, there's tension between them. There's tension between Candace and Giselle, Wendy and Mia, Wendy and Nneka, and then when Robin comes by, she just deliberately ignores Candace. And the reason that Candace and Giselle have problems is because, of course, the lies that Giselle told about Candace's husband, Chris, implying that he's that he sexually harassed her or sexually assaulted her. And the basic lies she told about that. And when confronted at the reunion by Candace and Chris, it just was just an all-out mess, because Giselle couldn't say what exactly Chris did to her to make her uncomfortable. And of course, Candace didn't appreciate the lies Giselle told about being a sneaky link or asking her demon when she was with it. And Giselle didn't appreciate Candace referred to her uterus as dwindling and referred to her as white-looking ass. So, of course, there's no coming back from that for either one of them. Like Candace said, F Giselle forever. Fair enough. And the reason that Robin was ignoring Candace is because she didn't appreciate Candace coming for her about Juan. Yet you're the one that let the lies about Chris go on and on. You were supposed to have her back, but it turns out that you only did that so she wouldn't talk about what's going on with Juan. So, that's out. And of course, there's still tension between Wendy and Nneka regarding the misunderstanding. And because Wendy and Mia, they had their problems, so of course, no use in them talking either until a little later. And what makes this event even more awkward is how Karen assigns pickleball teams. On one team, she puts Candace, Giselle, and Ashley on one team. Apparently, there's still tension between Candace and Ashley, so that should go well. And on the other team, you could probably, I'm going to tell you anyway. Wendy, Nneka, and Mia are on the other team. Double awkward. Yeah, what a way to encourage teamwork there, Karen. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I don't know why Karen thought that holding this event would mean instant healing, considering there's lots of tension and there's just people that just don't like each other and they never will. So, at least Karen tried. Karen, after they play their game, they all gather around to get something to eat. And it's then that Karen thanks everybody for coming and addresses that everybody has fences to mend, especially between herself and Robin. And for some reason, Robin gets annoyed at the mentioning of her name. Why? All she said was that there's fences to be mended between you because you two had your problems. Nothing said about Juan's infidelity and how you're reacting to it. She never said anything about that. Chill out, girl. It's not like Karen is wrong, right? And it's for this very reason that Juan decided to bolt from the group along with Ike. He and Ike hightailed it to the pickleball court and then, woo, let me get out of here. Maybe he was afraid of being a hot seat. Maybe he just assumed and he didn't know what was going on. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. First of all, Ineka addresses Ashley on the misunderstanding about the blog regarding Wendy and her family, the rumors about them being Osu. Ashley again admits her part to the whole group that she misquoted Ineka and that she apologizes for it. And Candace asks, so now that that's done, does this mean that Wendy and Ineka are good? Are y'all good? Well, and Wendy insists that she doesn't really know Ineka like that to have an actual problem with her. And Ineka says the same, that she doesn't know Wendy like that to have a problem with her either. And, let's see. And Wendy said to Ineka, like, I don't know you. Like, why would I talk to your husband's cousin? When technically Ineka says that it was her mother and sister who contacted Levy about this, not Wendy. I just want to be fair. Like, Wendy, she didn't say that they contacted you. They didn't say that it was you who contacted the cousin. It was your mother and your sister. Just thought it'd be fair, just to listen. Then it starts to get ugly the moment Ineka requests Wendy will clear it up. And then Chris is like, I am going to clear it the F up. And that's when Ineka got hot and says, like, calls her a bitch and says, what are you talking about? And I peeped the entertained looks with Ashley and with Mia, because they seem to, Mia more so seems to enjoy that Wendy's in another altercation where she's in the hot seat and seeing her all riled up. Because Mia does not like Wendy. And it's very interesting to note here that Karen kneels towards Giselle and says, like, see what you started? It's like, what did she start? I know I don't like Giselle, and she tends to bring up stuff and start a mess, but this time it wasn't her. It was Ashley. Ashley is the one who technically got the ball rolling on this. And then Giselle just told, you know what, get that mess out of my face, just go. And Wendy repeats that it was Ashley who brought up the article and misquoted what Ineka technically never said. Excuse me. And Ashley got annoyed with her name being brought up. Well, Ashley, what did you expect? You did start this whole thing. Maybe you were better off by keeping your mouth shut. And then Wendy and Ineka wouldn't be having this misunderstanding, and they would be having a bond as two Nigerian girls within this group. They could have had a common bond, like a real sisterhood bond, but you helped to mess it up, Ashley. Take accountability. Yeah, let's not throw rocks and hide the hands here. Just like I said about somebody else. Either, I don't know if it was this franchise or another one. And Wendy insists that her mother worships the Lord, while Ineka adds, yeah, by day, but at night she adds names to her personal shrine. Yep. Now, when I first saw the trailer for this, I'll be honest, I'll have to say, like, how would Ineka know what Wendy's mother does when she doesn't even know her like that? because once again, do they know each other like that, or don't they? Because if they don't, like, how would Nneka know what Wendy's mother does? I don't know. It's just so much of a mess. And instead of smoothing things out with Nneka, guess who Wendy announces that she wants to smooth things over with? Mia. The same Mia that threw a drink at her last year and then afterwards tried to attack her with a purse. The same Mia that rolled her eyes when Wendy was talking about her TV show plans. Yeah, that Mia, the one that doesn't like her. Anyways, Wendy brings Mia aside to have their little talk, and this is when Robin accuses Wendy of deflecting. Whether Wendy is deflecting or not, Robin, who are you to talk? All last year, you were deflecting and projecting whatever was going on with you and Juan onto Wendy and whoever else. So, takes one to know one, right? And plus, she's telling Ashley that there's more to the story about Wendy from what Nneka told her, which Robin was quick to believe, to get all the focus off of her. Yeah, she would know about deflecting. And somehow Nneka brings up to Mia that Eddie unfollowed Ike, and I'm thinking, oh no. Here we go. Like, why'd you have to go there? And wasn't it you that told Ike to not bother to bring this up when he's asked if he should even bother going to Eddie about this? Wasn't that you who said that? Said, no, don't do that. And then Mia goes and brings it up to Wendy and Eddie, which causes Eddie to approach Nneka and Ike to set everything straight. He asked, when he ever followed Ike on Facebook. Ike directly asked if Eddie knows him. Eddie had this confused look on his face as if to say, what are you talking about? And then Eddie says that this is the first time at the pickleball event that he's meeting him. Translation, no, I don't know you. You would think that would be enough for him to tell Ike, no, I don't know you, but apparently that answer wasn't good enough for Ike. So Ike just wants Eddie to say with his chest that he doesn't know him. And it's doesn't it even matter? If he doesn't know you, he doesn't know you. Big deal. I can't. Okay, here's my thing. Going to school with somebody doesn't always mean that you know them. I mean, if you have plenty of conversations with them, you hang out with them, then yeah, you can say you know them. But if you just haven't had classes with them and you happen to be in the same organizations or whatnot with them, doesn't necessarily mean that you know them. They're just people that you went to school with or had classes with or an organization with. But you don't really talk to said person outside of all that. So, yeah. This really didn't need to be this big of a mess that it was. And then somewhere along the way, Wendy snaps at Nneka not to ever mention her mother's name again. And Nneka snaps back and says that Wendy's mother is a witch. And the look on some of her faces is yeah, this drama's not going away anytime soon. It can only get uglier from this point. I wonder how explosive this reunion is going to be, if at all, based on this. But yeah. Yeah, that was it. That's my commentary on it. It's really too bad that Winnet and Nneka couldn't have a common bond from them both being Nigerian and both having common backgrounds. Well, we'll see what happens next week.